All right, everyone. So while on the Roommates podcast with Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart, Triple H made some big claims about the Attitude Era and the current era today. He said this: "We're sort of in this resurgence of WWE. I was obviously a huge part of the Attitude Era, but right now it's bigger than it's ever been. I think it's bigger than the Attitude Era was even then. It's amazing the amount of people on a weekly basis that we get to do cool stuff with." All right. So this is an interesting topic, I think, because the Attitude Era is viewed, and I don't know if maybe this is going to become a generational thing where the next generation doesn't feel the same, but the Attitude Era has always been viewed as people's favorite time in wrestling, especially mine. It's like Austin, The Rock, Undertaker, Mankind. You go down the list of the stars that were during that time, and it brought so many people into wrestling, and we've never left. We've always loved it since then. Even when you stop watching it for a year here or a year there or a few years, even when it's always something that are like wrestling. I'm a wrestling guy. Even when you're not currently watching it as much. But at the same time, it's not something that is just able to be replicated over and over again. The Attitude Era was the Attitude Era, and I think when you attempt to do what made the Attitude Era so great, just just to do it because you think that might be successful, it doesn't work out. And certainly nowadays, the company WWE is far bigger. You have wrestlers that are in various different things, whether it's Hollywood projects, and obviously they had that during the Attitude Era too. But now it's like, I mean, guys like The Rock, Cena. I mean, you literally have these huge, massive WWE stars that are also in movies and doing other things, and it's certainly as big of a company as it's ever been. So that's true from Triple H. This company is as big. The question I have, and I don't even really know the answer to this because I think there's a level of like, like just I don't know, you can't really measure this all that well, but I just feel like the Attitude Era was still, even at that time, like when you compare it to now, I still feel like the Attitude Era had more cultural, like people are on the edge of their seat thinking about it type stuff. I just don't see that as much nowadays. Now, part of that could be just because wrestling's so big and so broad that it's not shocking. Like, during the Attitude Era when it was hitting the mainstream, it was shocking. And so all of these different people were writing stories about it. Whereas now, wrestling being mainstream isn't new. So it's not going to draw as much media attention just for people being, just for the wrestlers doing something in the public, I guess, right? And so I don't know how you really measure that or judge that just personally. And this could be just because of bias because I love the Attitude Era so much. Um, I just feel like there was something different about the Attitude Era. It was bigger in the sense that it was like almost appointment viewing, and you had to watch it. And there was the Monday Night Wars. There was just so many things going on, and I just don't know another time that WWE has really been able to get that type of love out of its product. And that's not a shot at today's product because what Triple H has done has been nothing short of phenomenal. I mean, you got to understand that the job that he has right now, navigating what he's navigating, it's not easy. And what makes it even harder is when you have the type of talent he has. Sometimes there's almost too much talent, and it's tough when you have kind of the stacked men's division, you have the stacked women's division, and you look at it and you go, how do you even choose who should be champ? What storyline should we go? Because there are a million and one you could do. So it's not to say that Triple H is not doing a great job now and that it isn't exciting to watch. Wrestling has been so exciting, over these past few years, but I just don't know if it's the Attitude Era. And that doesn't mean they should switch over to the Attitude Era now, because like I've said in many videos, you can't replicate that. And I don't think this roster needs to replicate that. I think this roster has to continue to do what it's doing. I just don't know if necessarily um, you can compare, and say, yeah, certainly, this is bigger than the Attitude Era. I just think the Attitude Era was a one of one, and there may be a time where it gets surpassed, in the future. This era could end up surpassing it. We don't know. I just think there was just so much relevance. You hear about like in schools and just, people were waiting for, they were doing the DX chop in school, so they're just waiting for Monday night. It's almost like the time period, the fact that you didn't have all these streaming services and you didn't have all this stuff and social media where you had to watch it when it was on. There's something almost about that that made it more like influential in society because there was less going on. You know, there was less for them to worry about. Um, you know, there was less for people to like be waiting for to find out about. You know, it was just like, hey, we have to watch it on Mondays. There's not going to be too much information at any other point besides on that Monday, so I have to watch that Monday. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.